Hey there, do-it-yourselfers. Have you ever bought a used truck or a used car? Of course you have. And what'd you do when you got it home? Did you just start driving the heck out of it? Maybe change the oil? Did you just take the dealer's word for it that it was a great vehicle? Or take some dude's word for it that it was a great vehicle? Well, you shouldn't. You should go through it, do the service and maintenance that's necessary. And that's what we do, because we like to buy and hold vehicles. We like for them to last as long as possible. So that's what this series is about. This is the intro. We're going to show you some things that we did initially, right when we first purchased the truck. And stay tuned to the end, because we're going to have a great tip for you, particularly if you own a Toyota truck. And it's especially relevant for these second generation Tacomas. So I'm flipping the camera around and showing you what we have here. What we have is a 2007 Toyota Tacoma access cab. One of the first things that we did to it after we purchased it, and we purchased it in late 2023, when prices were coming down slightly, but still not a whole lot for trucks. We did purchase it a little, and I do say a little, under market value, but frankly it had more issues than a lot of vehicles that you might want to purchase. But back to what the first thing that we did was took it to a reliable paint guy that I know, and we had this roof repainted. Why? Because it was showing some rust spots and some cuts in the paint. Looked like a decal to me, but our paint guy said that it was a rattle can job. So I felt like with the rust that's something that needed to be taken care of quickly. I will show you the before pictures right here. Okay, and again, here's what the roof paint looks like now. So it's much better. And then, as I said, did the oil change first, did the roof, and then we went to wheels and tires. Why? Because the tires on the truck when we purchased it were bald and out of round. They were in pretty terrible shape. And we knew we wanted to go with some different wheels that had the factory alloys on it. And they were just so-so. We haven't put the center caps on these wheels yet, but we picked these up at a pretty decent price, somewhere around $700-ish, $750 for a set of 4. They're Anthems from custom offsets. We also replaced all the TPMS sensors. We went with some affordable Bosch brand. So we eliminated a TPMS light on the dash. So those were the initial things that we did. We have a lot more that we need to do, but before we get to the various fluids and whatnot, we have an issue with the blower motor. Blower motor was working when we bought it, but then failed soon afterward. So what we've got here is we're going to replace the blower motor and several other components. I've got another video on the blower motor resistor. This is the old style that I've already pulled out of this Tacoma. I've got the new style already in there. You can see where that's located here, which is right here, right there. And I've got the wiring harness out, and you can see here part of the problem. We've got a burnt spot on the wiring harness, so we're going to have to replace that wiring harness. We're going to do that with this unit here that came with this CarQuest part. Again, we're going to do it very similar to what I did on the Tundra resistor. We're going to replace the blower motor as well, and we're also going to replace the relay out front so that everything should be ship-shape. So something else to be mindful of, I've seen complaints of water dripping down into the blower motor area. Well, you got to clean your cowl out. So I've already taken all that apart, cleaned it out inside. Now I'm down here working on cleaning out the cowl drainage down here as well. I had all kinds of junk backed up in there. Been grabbing it with pliers and gloves and shooting with some water. Get all that gunk out of there nice and clean. That'll help keep the water flowing. Here you can see all that I've been pulling out and flushing out. Okay, so at this point we've replaced the cabin air filter, we've replaced the blower motor, we've rewrapped those wires, we've replaced the harness, used splices and heat shrink. That's going to then be plugged into the resistor here, and we're going to go ahead and replace the relay under the hood, and then this thing should work like a champ. Okay, last step, we're taking the blower motor relay out. We're replacing it with a factory Denso piece. It was right here in the engine fuse panel, and then we're going to put a new one in there. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if the blower motor works. Do it.
You want me to do this?
Yep. Oh yeah. Sounds nice and smooth too.
Yeah.
AC's on. Everything's working. Nice. Working on the Toyota Tacoma, and had a tire pressure sensor light, TPMS light, since the truck was purchased. When the truck's turned on, it'll sit there and blink a while before it'll go steady like it is right now. That the blinking indicates that there's a problem with the sensor. I picked up a new sensor for the spare. Unfortunately, in these, I believe it's up till 2009. They had this in the spare, so you've got to deal with that as well as the other four. The other four have already been replaced with new wheels and tires, so hopefully it's this one. Okay, here we are back from the tire store, and good news, no more tire light. I'll bet that thing has been on for years. All new sensors all the way around. However, looks like we do have an airbag light, so we'll have to get that amongst the other issues that we're taking care of. I just drained and filled the power steering fluid, took off this hose, used some long reach needle nose, just took this clamp back, put this old cottage cheese bin underneath the or bowl underneath the hose, drained it all out. You can see the fluid is very nasty and disgusting, and put some automatic transmission fluid in Toyota type, and then we'll circulate that, and we'll probably do it at least one more time. On the blower motor and the fan controls, we had some water issues here in the passenger side floorboard, and I wanted to show you a common problem that I've seen when you have a windshield replaced on one of these Tacomas. So after replacing all the blower components, and cleaning the drains on the sides of the fender wells, it comes out down here. After doing all that, we were still having water coming down into the passenger side floorboard. So I had to remove the cowl again. Take these there's two plastic pins here on either side. You get those, you're probably going to break those things. But then after that, it's just a real easy maneuver to just pop off the clips, plastic clips, and then just wiggle your way on moving this cowl. So just kind of work your way out, remove your cowl, Set it to the side. And then once that cowl is out of the way, you can see right away what I did. There's a huge hole right here that goes down to the cabin air filter and your blower motor. And what happened was, at some point, this windshield's been replaced, and it's supposed to have a small channel underneath the windshield to help catch water. Well, it's gone. You can see it just slides right down. So that cowl catches some of it, but not all of it. And so did some research on the internet, saw some forums where people had done this in the past. So that's what I did. I just grabbed a piece of aluminum roof flashing from Lowe's, Home Depot, same thing, and cut it to fit. It's about 13 inches or so long, about 10 inches, maybe a little less, maybe 9 inches wide. And then I attached it with some flashing tape. It's some Gorilla flashing tape that is super sticky. Not for use under the hood, it says, but I would say that's more for like radiator hoses and things of that nature. So that's what I did, and you can see, I mean, air can still get in to where it needs to go. There we go. It's kind of dark there. But so air can still get in to your opening, but rain and water is not going to get down into that opening. It's going to fall down on either side. It's got a little slope to it, so it's going to flow over to the drain and out. So we haven't had any issues with water in the passenger side since we did that. All right, so I hope those tips were helpful, especially that last one. We really appreciate the free likes and subscribes. We will be doing some more videos on this truck. Next up are brakes, wheel hubs, and more fluid changes.